Hi guys, Darth Deuce here, back on our Star Wars The Vintage Collection action figure review. And today we're going to be taking a look at possibly what I would say is Hasbro's very best 3¼ inch Darth Vader figure that they've produced so far. I'd even argue maybe their best Darth Vader figure in general that they've produced so far. I do have to apologize that I'm not showing him in the packaging. I actually did a first take of this already, and my camera app crashed, so he's not gonna see him in the packaging, but that doesn't really matter that much. We will still take a look at the card back here. And I do really like the card back. It's got the Obi-Wan Kenobi there, and I got a really nice image of Vader from the show. Vader at the Dark Times, and then other figures available. I just previously reviewed Obi-Wan Kenobi. I also have reviews of Reva on my channel, the Mandalorian Super Commando, and then at some point I'll probably review the rest of them. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the card back. So put that off to the side and take a look at the actual figure. And I was really excited to get this one in hand and see it for myself. For the longest time, the 3¾ inch black series of Revenge of the Sith Darth Vader has been my favorite Hasbro Darth Vader in my collection. And it's 3¼ inch, I think, just in general. That figure was really well done, had the best articulation of a 3¼ inch Darth Vader at the time. And I thought it was going to take Hasbro quite a bit to beat that one out. And while I still like that figure, yeah, this one's just so much better in pretty much every way. You can just tell looking at it right here, right off the bat, how good it looks. But yeah, taking a closer look, it's a head-to-toe brand new sculpt, which is kind of funny because of the Black Series. Obi-Wan Kenobi show, Vader is pretty much just like a repaint / slight retool. So it's kind of interesting that the Black Series didn't get anything new, really, but Vintage Collection did. But anyways, yeah, the helmet sculpt I think is phenomenal. Every angle you look at it, it just looks so good. The shape is, I think, nailed. I really like the color of the lenses. They've got that very subtle reddish brown look, but it doesn't look like too overdone or anything like that. A lot of Vader figures, when they decide to do the reddish eyes or the brownish reddish eyes, I feel like they overdo it an awful lot. I think they got it looking very realistic and very good here. The rest of the helmet as well just looks really nice, glossy black, and they got the silver highlights on the mask, which looks good as well. So that's really cool. And yeah, just any ways you look at it, I think it just looks absolutely awesome. They did a really good job with this one. And then the rest of the figure, you've got the torso here with the armor. The armor is looking really good. The chest box and the boxes on the belt, all the lights and buttons and whatnot are painted all really well. I don't really have any sloppy paint going on, which looks really good. And then, you know, not a whole lot to talk about. Everyone knows what Darth Vader looks like by now. But all the sculpted details are there, and they all look really good. The legs look good as well. Glossy black for the boots. The soft goods for the robe part is really nicely done. They're not too big. They're not too flowy and weird looking. I think they look really good. They fit the figure really well, and they look really nice. So that's really good. And then the cape itself, also made of nice material, and flows pretty well, and it's not too oversized. I will say it is a little awkward and rigid in some ways. If you want it to like rest over his shoulders, it's not going to look the most natural. It likes to pop up here, and there's just no real avoiding it. Unfortunately, soft goods don't work the absolute best at 3¼ inch. There's only so much you can achieve, and I think they did the best that they could here. I don't know really how you could remedy this, but yeah, it does look a little, not the greatest, but it's all right. Still pretty good. And you can, you know, fold that over his shoulders easily enough. So yeah, really good looking. Definitely the best looking, but also the best articulated. Some really great articulation here. You got a down bail joint in the neck, which even with the helmet gets a really good range of motion. That's got to be the best range of motion on a Darth Vader helmet I've seen on a figure. That's really good. Ball hinges of the shoulders move quite a bit. The shoulder armor does have quite a bit of flex to it, so that's no problem. And you do get the rotation there. Single hinges in the elbows, move just a little past 90. And then hinges at the wrist, and he does have the proper up and down wrist hinges for lightsaber poses, which is great. Ball joint at the torso, which doesn't really move back or forward too far, but does rotate. Not really much pivot. That's definitely the most limited part of his articulation, though, so that's fine. The new ball joint at the hips, which is great to see on these figures. That moves really well. Swivel cut at the thigh. A single hinge at the knee, which moves pretty much 90, and then a hinge at the ankle, which moves up quite a bit, down, and then pivots. So yeah, it's a lot of really good articulation. It all moves really smoothly, and yeah, this one's a really fun one to pose. You can get a lot of really great poses out of this that not many other Darth Vader figures can do, especially at the price point and scale. So very cool. terms of accessories, he also comes with some cool stuff when it comes to accessories. I do, of course, get his lightsaber. Nice, vibrant red blade there. I do like that they've done away with the flare-up effect around the emitter. The Obi-Wan figure's lightsaber is the same way. I'm glad this is the style that they're going with these things. Hilt's also sculpted and painted pretty nicely. You know, all the details you'd expect. And you can get him to hold the lightsaber securely in the right hand there. So that's pretty cool. He looks good with it. You also get his lightsaber hilt, which is pretty much exactly the same, but it does have obviously no blade. It also has a peg, and you can't actually peg it to his belt. This is a rare thing to find on a Vader figure. I find most of the times with Darth Vader figures, even if they include the hilt, which even that's kind of rare, they don't attach to the belt. So it's very cool you can do that, and that's looks really good, and it goes in nice and securely, no problem. And then it doesn't stop there. You also get two interchangeable hands. You get a left closed fist and a right pointing / like force choking, I guess, hand. So that's pretty cool. So you can, have them, gesturing, using the force, doing different poses. It opens up a lot of options for a lot of different posing, which is pretty cool. And they're pretty easy to swap as well. No real hassle. They go in nice and securely, but they're easy enough to pop out. So you got the pointing finger there. Have them pointing. That's really cool. Oops. And then here, you can pop that one out. Give them the closed fist. And yeah. And then you have that. And I think that looks really awesome as well. So that's super cool. So yeah, accessories really great as well. You don't see interchangeable hands too often on figures. It would be super cool to see this more often with other characters. It makes figures just a lot more expressive and gives you a lot more options for posing, natural posing, which is really cool. So finally, I am going to do some size comparisons, but just some comparisons. There are a lot. I assume most people, unless you're really brand new to collecting, probably have a fair number of different Darth Vaders, so I'll compare them with some of the more modern ones. First off, though, here he is with the figure I just reviewed previously, the Obi-Wan Kenobi Wandering Jedi. And I think they look pretty good. Vader is appropriately a bit taller, so I think that looks good together. Then here he is with the Vintage Collection A New Hope Darth Vader back from like 2011, 2012. Back then, this figure was, I think, widely considered one of the best Vaders. It's still a pretty good one, has ball-jointed hips and whatnot, but at today's standards, the helmet does not look that good in my opinion. But that's kind of what they look like. And you can kind of see how far we've come with the helmets. Yeah, I remember being pretty impressed with this one back in the day, but this one's just not that good anymore. Here he is with the 3 1/4 inch Black Series, the first wave they ever did. They did an Empire Strikes Back version of Darth Vader, and it was a pretty good version then. I still think it's actually one of the better figures of Vader now, and I think that's kind of the comparison with them. This old Blackster one definitely has some good things going for it, but yeah, this one's still better. And here it is with a recent, we'll do the more recent one. This is the most recent Vintage Collection release before this one. Oh man, I think this figure's like 2 years old now, I think. It might be only a year old. I think it's like 2 years old now. The Vader figure they did for Rogue One / A New Hope. And this one was a decent one. It definitely had one of the better 3 1/4 inch Darth Vader head sculpts. But you can see this new one is still a lot better. Yeah, I think this one's just so much better, so much sharper and cleaner. And this one just had some weird things. It used an old mold. Some of the hip joints are kind of loose on mine. The cape is too big. They decided to go with plastic lower robes that were in the same piece as the top part, and it just looks so bad and restricts articulation. Like, this figure was like, I get they were probably trying to try some different things, but this figure is like, not actually that good, honestly. It's all right, but not that good. And then the one that I consider its biggest rival, this is the Black Series 3 1/4 inch Revenge of the Sith Darth Vader. That has been my reigning champion for Vader figures for a while, and I still like this figure a lot. It's still really good. They still did a lot of things right with it, but yeah, this one's the winner for sure. Articulation and sculpt, paint, and detail, everything's just a lot better. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Overall, I absolutely love this figure. It's easily in contention for being in the top 10 figures of the year for me. I obviously am biased. This is my favorite Star Wars character, but absolutely blown away with this figure. Really well done. Another vintage collection release that I think definitely beats out the Black Series one by a pretty decent margin. I think it's a lot funner, a lot cooler. Yeah, really good figure. If you were collecting the 3 1/4 inch line, you definitely got to get this. I think this one's a must-have, honestly. This is the pinnacle of Darth Vader 3 1/4 inch figures, in my opinion. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one. May the Force be with you.